Imagine standing on Earth when the top predator isn't a lion, isn't a bear, isn't even a Tyrannosaurus. Instead, the ground trembles under a 13-meter carnivore or a snake longer than a bus. Tonight, we'll explore 7 of the largest terrestrial predators ever discovered, from dinosaurs to mammals to reptiles, all backed by scientific evidence. No myths, no Hollywood scaling, just the facts. Subscribe for more amazing discoveries. Let's begin. 1. Carcharodontosaurus saharicus. The shark-toothed apex around 100 to 94 million years ago, during the mid-late Cretaceous, North Africa looked nothing like today's Sahara. It was a network of rivers, floodplains, and lush vegetation. At the top of this ecosystem stood Carcharodontosaurus saharicus. Fossils discovered in Morocco and Egypt show it reached lengths of 12 to 13 meters, up to 43 feet. Estimated weight ranges between 6 and 7 metric tons. Its skull alone measured over 1.6 meters long, among the longest of any terrestrial predator. Its name means shark-toothed lizard, and for good reason. The teeth were large, flattened, and serrated, built for slicing flesh rather than crushing bone. Unlike tyrannosaurids, which relied on bone-splintering bites, Carcharodontosaurus likely inflicted deep, cutting wounds that caused massive blood loss. Biomechanical studies suggest it may have reached speeds of approximately 30 kilometers per hour. It likely preyed on large herbivorous dinosaurs sharing its environment. Fossil evidence suggests it was the dominant terrestrial predator in its region. Ecological role: apex predator of mid-Cretaceous North Africa. It vanished millions of years before the asteroid impact, likely due to regional ecosystem shifts and competition from emerging theropod lineages. 2. Mapusaurus roseae. The southern giant traveled to Patagonia, Argentina, about 97 million years ago. Here lived Mapusaurus roseae, another giant theropod reaching approximately 12 meters in length and weighing an estimated 5 to 6 metric tons. It belonged to the Carcharodontosaurid family, closely related to Carcharodontosaurus but geographically separated. What makes Mapusaurus particularly fascinating is the fossil site where remains of multiple individuals were found together. Some paleontologists propose this could suggest social behavior or even cooperative hunting. However, scientists caution that fossil association alone does not confirm pack coordination. Its skull was elongated and filled with serrated blade-like teeth optimized for slicing muscle and connective tissue. Mapusaurus lived alongside Argentinosaurus, one of the largest land animals ever known. While a fully grown Argentinosaurus would have been nearly impossible to kill, scientists believe predators like Mapusaurus may have targeted juveniles or weaker individuals. Estimated speed, likely comparable to other large theropods, around 25–30 km/h. Ecological role: apex predator of late Cretaceous South America. It disappeared as faunal communities shifted later in the Cretaceous. 3. Acrocanthosaurus atokensis, the high-spined apex. Around 113 to 110 million years ago, during the early Cretaceous, North America was a warm coastal landscape of river systems, open plains, and towering conifer forests. At the top of this ecosystem stood Acrocanthosaurus atokensis. Fossils discovered in Texas, Oklahoma, and Wyoming show it reached lengths of 11 to 12 meters, up to 40 feet. Estimated weight ranges between 6 and 7 metric tons. Its skull measured over 1.3 meters long, armed with long, laterally compressed, serrated teeth designed for slicing through flesh rather than crushing bone. Its name means high-spined lizard, referring to the tall neural spines that ran along its back. These spines were thick and likely supported powerful back and neck muscles. Unlike the sail of Spinosaurus, they were probably used for structural support rather than display, though scientists continue to study their exact function. Biomechanical modeling suggests it may have reached speeds of approximately 25 to 30 kilometers per hour, built for sustained pursuit rather than explosive sprinting. It likely preyed on large herbivorous dinosaurs, including sauropods such as Sauroposeidon. Fossil trackways in Texas suggest large theropods may have followed sauropod herds, though direct hunting evidence remains limited. Ecological role: apex predator of early Cretaceous North America. It disappeared millions of years before the rise of tyrannosaurids, likely due to faunal turnover and shifting predator lineages within Cretaceous ecosystems. 4. Titanoboa cerrejonensis, the largest snake ever discovered. Around 60 to 58 million years ago, during the Paleocene, Tropical rainforests covered what is now Colombia. The region was dominated by warm, humid floodplains, dense vegetation, and extensive river systems. At the top of this ecosystem stood Titanoboa cerrejonensis. Fossils discovered in the Cerrejón Formation of northern Colombia show it reached lengths of 12 to 13 meters, up to 43 feet. Estimated weight ranges between 1 and 1.25 metric tons. Its vertebrae are the largest ever found from any known snake species, allowing scientists to reconstruct its body size with strong confidence. Its name refers to its immense size and its classification as a boa relative. It was not venomous. Like modern boas and anacondas, Titanoboa killed through constriction, using its massive body to restrict blood flow and breathing. Its skull structure suggests a flexible jaw capable of swallowing large prey whole. Biomechanical comparisons with modern constrictors suggest it could generate tremendous crushing force, aided by its exceptional body mass. It likely preyed on large fish and crocodilian relatives that inhabited Paleocene river systems. Fossil evidence suggests it was the dominant predator within its wetland environment. Ecological role: apex predator of Paleocene tropical wetlands. It disappeared as global climates gradually cooled, reducing the extreme heat conditions required to sustain reptiles of such enormous size. 5. Andrewsarchus mongoliensis, the enigmatic mammalian giant. Around 45 to 36 million years ago, during the Eocene epoch, Central Asia was warmer than today, with river valleys, coastal plains, and open woodland environments stretching across what is now Mongolia. At the top of parts of this ecosystem stood Andrewsarchus mongoliensis. Fossils discovered in Mongolia show that its skull measured nearly 84 centimeters long, the largest known skull of any terrestrial carnivorous mammal. Estimated body length ranges between 3.5 and 4 meters, with weight possibly between 600 and 1,000 kilograms, though these estimates remain uncertain because no complete skeleton has been found. Its skull alone was long and narrow, with strong jaw muscle attachment sites indicating a powerful bite. Its name means Andrew's ruler, named after explorer Roy Chapman Andrews. The teeth were robust and well-developed, suggesting it may have been capable of crushing bone. Unlike modern carnivores such as wolves or bears, Andrewsarchus belonged to an extinct lineage of early hoofed mammals related to primitive artiodactyls. Comparative studies suggest it may have possessed a strong bite force relative to its size, though exact biomechanical modeling is limited due to incomplete remains. It likely fed on large vertebrates or carcasses within river and coastal environments. Fossil evidence suggests it was one of the largest terrestrial carnivorous mammals in its region. Ecological role: one of the largest terrestrial mammalian carnivores of the Eocene. It disappeared as mammalian predator groups diversified and global climates gradually shifted toward cooler and more seasonal conditions. 6. Arctodus simus, the giant short-faced bear between 800,000 and 11,000 years ago. During the Pleistocene Ice Age, North America was a landscape of open grasslands, glacial margins, and roaming megafauna. At the top of parts of this ecosystem stood Arctodus simus. Fossils discovered across the United States and Canada show it stood up to 3.4 meters tall when upright and weighed between 600 and over 1,000 kilograms, making it one of the largest terrestrial mammalian carnivores ever discovered. Its skull was broad with powerful jaw muscles, and its limbs were proportionally longer than those of modern bears. Its name means short-faced bear, referring to the shortened snout compared to other bear species. The long legs suggest high endurance and the ability to travel long distances efficiently. Some biomechanical studies indicate it may have been capable of sustained movement across open terrain, rather than short bursts of speed. Isotope analysis of fossil remains indicates a heavily meat-based diet in several regions. However, whether it primarily hunted large prey or relied significantly on scavenging remains debated among scientists. Its size alone would have allowed it to dominate carcasses and intimidate other predators. It likely competed with dire wolves, American lions, and other large carnivores inhabiting Ice Age North America. Ecological role: one of the largest mammalian carnivores of the Ice Age. It went extinct around 11,000 years ago, likely due to climate shifts at the end of the last glacial period, combined with megafaunal collapse and possible human expansion across the continent. 7. Sarkastodon mongoliensis, the bone-crushing hyenodont. Around 35 million years ago, during the late Eocene, Central Asia was a mosaic of open woodland, river systems, and semi-arid plains. At the top of parts of this ecosystem stood Sarkastodon mongoliensis. Fossils discovered in Mongolia show length estimates range between 2.5 and 3 meters, with weight possibly between 600 and 1,000 kilograms, though precise numbers remain debated. Due to incomplete skeletal remains, its skull alone was exceptionally large and heavily built, with powerful jaw muscle attachment areas indicating a strong bite. Sarkastodon belonged to the hyenodonts, an extinct lineage of carnivorous mammals not directly related to modern hyenas, despite superficial similarities in feeding adaptations. Its molars were thick and robust, adapted for crushing bone and processing carcasses thoroughly rather than slicing flesh with blade-like precision. Its name reflects its formidable build, and fossil evidence suggests it possessed a deep skull and strong jaws suited for powerful, forceful bites. Unlike pursuit predators that relied on speed and endurance, Sarkastodon likely depended on brute strength and dominance. Its body proportions suggest a heavily built animal rather than a long-distance runner. It likely preyed on medium to large vertebrates within its environment or scavenged large carcasses when available, asserting dominance over other carnivores. Ecological role: apex predator of late Eocene Asia. Hyenodonts declined in the later Cenozoic due to global climate cooling and increasing competition from early carnivorans, the evolutionary ancestors of modern dogs, cats, and bears, which eventually replaced them in many ecosystems. Across more than 100 million years, evolution repeatedly produced giants, dinosaurs with slicing teeth, snakes that ruled tropical swamps, mammals that stood taller than modern bears, each one perfectly adapted to its world. But ecosystems change, climates shift, prey disappears, competition rises, and even the largest land predators in Earth's history cannot outrun extinction. Their bones remain. Their dominance is written in stone. If you enjoy scientifically accurate deep dives into prehistoric life, subscribe and turn on notifications. New videos every week, because extinction may be permanent, but their story isn't.